Can't you hear us calling Katy daily? We want to drink your Irish Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew. Where I am now, they don't sing about Mountain Dew. They make it. Mountain Dew is another name for the stuff that's spelt poteen and pronounced poteen. Illicitly distilled whiskey. Do-it-yourself hooch. And so much of it is made here in the lonely hill country of County Cork that raids like this by the police on areas where they've reason to believe an illicit still is operating are quite common.
Well, now, how do the courts treat it? If you bring a man before a court and you've got all the evidence, what'll he get if it was, say, his first offence?
Yeah, the first offence, roughly fined about £10.
As little as that?
It has to be at least £6, you see. Well, then he can be fined roughly about £10, maybe a first offence.
And a second and third?
It has to be a double and a second.
Doesn't he ever go to jail for it?
Very, very seldom. Very, very seldom.
What do you think as a policeman about that?
I think it's all right. I mean, the manufacture of poteen itself, I suppose, is an industry in itself. Some poteen makers, the old-time poteen makers, are very, very careful. And they make a very, very good poteen.
What do they sell a bottle of poteen at?
They can sell it from about 17 and sixpence to £1 per bottle.
How good is poteen, Charleston? How does it compare with a good commercial whiskey?
It's all according to what you use the poteen for.
Well, what would you rather drink?
Well, I drink very little, but I'd rather drink whiskey. I couldn't
Would
drink
you?
poteen anyway, no.
Is it too raw, then?
It's too raw, in my estimation, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use it all right as a cure, maybe for colds. You can also use it for Christmas cakes, this poteen and me now.
Must be an awful lot of coals and Christmas cakes eaten in this part of Ireland. I'm told there's a lot of poteen drunk.
There is a fair share of it, all right.
The war between the police and the poteen makers, you could very nearly call it a game, is conducted on gentlemanly lines with no ill feeling on either side. Both police and moonshiners abide strictly by the rules. That's to say, the police must catch a man red-handed actually making the stuff. And the moonshiners, on their part, offer no resistance when they are caught. It's a fair cop, and they go quietly. If you were to draw a line down the middle of Ireland, you could say roughly that the poteen country lies to the west of it. But there's not so much of it made now up in Galway and Connemara, which used to be the great place for poteen making, because there the church has cracked down on it in earnest. And in this devoutly Catholic country, a black robe carries more authority than a blue uniform. When I mentioned to a citizen of these parts that it would be nice to see a still in actual operation, he said the matter could be arranged, but of course it would take time, say half an hour. And sure enough, back he came and said he'd found the very man for the job, and him just round the corner too, you might say. So here I am, about to have my arranged interview with a County Cork moonshiner, or rather, an ex-moonshiner, because I want to make it abundantly plain that the man I'm about to see hasn't handled a still since 1872. So, this is how it's done.
This is how it's done.
Can you explain the process to me, Natty?
I can.
What's this now?
That's beer. They call that beer.
Uh-huh.
It is made out of malting barley.
That's your fermented liquor?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was steeped in that barrel first, you see.
I see.
And then, when it was there for about 4 days, and then we put it over into this,
and boil
this
it
boiler.
up.
And it's boiling now, and it will come up in vapor into this head, and go along here, then you see. Down here, this is the worm. That's what they call the worm to.
Into the water to be cool?
Yes.
I see.
And out there, then the whiskey is coming. That's the whiskey out there, see.
Now, how much would you make at a doing?
4 gallons and a half.
Now, how long would that take?
About, to run it?
Aye.
About 6 hours.
A night's work, in fact?
Most of a night. If you have a fire, put going, you know, it will take a good while before the fire is red. Fit to put it boiling, you see.
Yeah, I see.
And then you have to run it secondly.
Oh?
You have to run it secondly.
Distill it twice, you
Yes.
mean? Why?
The first run, now that's coming out there, it is only singling, they call it.
It's not strong enough the first
That's
time,
strong
I
enough.
mean. How good is it?
Yeah, it is very strong.
Is it as good
Did
as...
you ever taste any of it?
No.
Didn't you? There it is
No.
there, look. Taste it.
This is safe now.
Oh, that's...
Nothing will blow off.
Oh, that's pure whiskey.
Uh-huh.
You can taste that now. That's good.
Well, it's certainly strong.
You may be sure it's strong.
Yeah.
That is good whiskey.
Now, I'm told this sells at £1 a bottle.
£1 a bottle.
So these boys that are still at it will be making a good deal of money.
Some makers colour it.
Do they?
They do. And you wouldn't know it from commercial whiskey.
Would you say some of them make it in quite a big scale?
Well, I'd say there is a few make it in a big scale, all right. There is. I say could be making maybe about 20 gallons a week.
So?
About 20 gallons a week,
This
I'd
is
say.
big business.
It is.
Where are they selling it?
They're selling it all over the country. They're out at night late with vans, take it out in a van late, like after 12 and call to, well, they have their macas like made beforehand.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah. But they'll surely drink some of their own whiskey.
Some are teetotalers. Don't drink it at all. Don't drink any whiskey.
Do you think it's fair to be a teetotaler and make whiskey?
Well, I suppose anything for a living.
Poteen making has been described as one Irish rural industry which has never suffered a setback. And my guess is that in spite of the very best efforts of the police, it never will. Well, good night.
And all the boys in court have drunk your whiskey. And to tell the truth, dear Kate, I drank it too.